Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial, and today's review is Haunted Mansion, a Disney film, which is a remake from when Eddie Murphy did it years back. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's go over the cast. Lakeith Stanfield plays as Ben Mathis. Rosario Dawson plays as Gabbie. Owen Wilson plays as Father Kent. Tiffany Haddish plays as Harriet. Danny DeVito plays as Bruce Davis. Jamie Lee Curtis plays as Leota. And Chase W. Dillon plays as Travis, which is Gabbie's son. Now you got Jared Leto plays as All-Star Crump. That's the Hatbox Ghost. And Alistair Crump, that's the main villain. And let's see if anybody else is in here. That's pretty much. Oh yeah, Renola Ryder, she plays as Pat, which is like a tour guide person. So they had a very familiar cast in this movie. So it's a lot of people that you're familiar with in other films and projects that was in this film. Overall, it's a decent film. I never seen the original with Eddie Murphy. So I am curious to watch that one to see how different it is. The same storyline. So nevertheless, it starts off with Lakeith Stanfield's character, which is Ben. It shows him a younger version of him with his wife. He's in college. He's working on like a project, and his wife is very supportive and boosting him up to succeed. But then it goes in present day where he's pretty much he's a tour guide in New Orleans for tourists and taking them around, and he doesn't believe in ghosts and stuff like that. And pretty much anybody that talks about ghosts, he tells them is BS, because what he was creating was a device that it takes pictures, and it takes pictures of the image of the ghost. So then it shoots to Rosario Dawson, and her name is Gabbie, and then her son. It shoots to them. They get to this house, and Gabbie and her son Travis, they get in the house, and the house is real old, big house. No sooner than they in there, ghosts start popping up. And at first, Rosario Dawson was acting like she ain't see whatever. The son was already seeing the ghost, and before she know it, she seen it, and they left. Ran out the house, drove away. They end up having to come back to the house because wherever they were going, the ghost was popping up until they went back to the house. Now, what they did is triggered them to go find a father to basically pray the ghost out and seance and everything to get the ghost out. That didn't work. And that's Owen Wilson's character, Father Kent. Come to find out, he's not even a real priest. He's somebody that dresses up in a priest uniform to hustle people. So nevertheless, he goes in. Father Kent goes and look for Ben, because Ben was reputable, but he just stopped because what you find out happened in his life. So he goes to Ben, pretty much tell Ben, and he pay him $2,000 if he comes out to this house, prove that it's ghost there. Ben goes out to Gabbie's house. Before he goes in the house, she pretty much tells him, before you walk in, enter at your own risk. I'm gonna give you the money. She gave him $2,000 and gave him a little bit more, and pretty much told him, once you in here, everything's on you. So he goes around the house, pretty much act like he didn't see anything, taking pictures and everything. Well, his camera wasn't even taking pictures, so he didn't bring out the real device. And so as he left, he pretty much told her, like, you don't have no ghosts in here. He left, and everywhere he started showing up, there were ghosts everywhere. So he eventually had to come back to the house too, and then she said, right on time. So when he arrives back at the house, it's Gabbie, her son Travis, and Father Kent, he shows back up. Why didn't you tell me that these ghosts was gonna be following me, everything like that, or whatever? So she explained pretty much that's what happened to them, and they all forced them to come back to the house. So they basically said they needed to assemble a team. So which was cool that we got to see Danny DeVito. His name is Bruce Davis. He's like a college historian professor. They assembled a team, so he know the history of ghosts and everything like that. They get Tiffany Haddish character, which is Harriet. She's like, you want to call a bootleg psychic, but she really does have a connection with being a psychic. It's just that she's kind of bootleg. She ain't refined her skills, and so they do get to use her to find out what's going on with this house and everything like that. So as they go into the dark world of the house and find out, not all the ghosts are pretty much evil. The ghosts are pretty much stuck there. So they find out that the main head ghost is Alistair Crump. They go through a whole history session with his family. His dad was rich, and the dad mistreated him, shipped him off. He came back a trillionaire, and he just pretty much, to keep his wealth going, he built a cult and a following, and had to do all this sacrificing people's lives. So all these souls were stopped in his house. What eventually took place is the people came, and the townspeople came, killed him, chopped his head off. That's why his head was in a box. So one of the people he got, her name was Leota, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, I didn't know that was her when I was actually watching the movie. I guess I have to go back and look. But at the time I watched the movie, I didn't know that was Jamie Lee Curtis. Her head is in the globe. She ended up coming out. They brought her head out of the globe thing and brought her on the surface so she could help fight the fight against the main villain, Crump. I still didn't know that was her. Other than that, they had to find what was his weakness. So he had 999 souls. He needed one more soul that makes him stronger, and he allowed to roam the earth. And so he needed somebody that was grieving and who would be willing to sacrifice themselves or whatever. So everybody, you would thought it was going to be Ben, because you find out that his wife had passed away in a car accident, and she pretty much one night she wanted to get some tater tots, and he pretty much was into his work, and he kind of snapped at her like, go about your business, go on your own. And she's left, and she went out to go get some ice cream too. And so in the process of that, she got in a car accident and she died. So he always felt guilty that she didn't know that he truly loved her and everything like that. Now, one of the moments happened where Tiffany Haddish was talking about like when people pass away, it's two circles, the afterlife, and if they caught up in the in-between service, that means that they're not at peace and they're stuck on earth. That's where the ghosts come from. If they're not stuck, they just go about their business. But every now and again, they send something to let you know, like, they thinking about you or something like that. And she spoke of a time that her dad used to create trains, and when she was at her lowest moment, a train popped up, and she heard it, and that was basically the dad basically saying he's there for her. So it's another moment at the end of the movie where Ben sees something from his wife and lets him know that she's still there for him, and she understood, but she did pass, and she was at peace. Meanwhile, what took place, they had to get something of Crump that can help them defeat him. They found his top hat. They was using that. Now, what was going on is Travis, Gabbie's son, he kept saying when he got with Ben, like when Ben was talking to him, he'd say, yeah, I want to talk to my dad. So Rosie, Gabbie, she really never said what happened to the dad. She just said, when we was in New York, with his dad, she never said what happened to him, but I kind of felt what was going on or whatever. And he kept saying, yeah, I talked to my dad. And so Ben is thinking he's talking to him literally, but he's talking to the ghost or whatever. And so when he left Travis alone, Travis was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna just talk to my dad. And he thinking he gonna call him on the phone or something. When he went in the house, he talked to Gabbie, and he was like, yeah, well, he's out there talking to his dad. And she was like, what you mean he talking to his dad? She said, yeah, he talks to his dad all the time. And she said, his dad died. And so now they knew it was the ghost Crump talking to him. So that was how Crump was gonna get him to be willing to sacrifice himself to talk to his dad. So they thought it was gonna be Ben, but it's actually Travis. So Ben rushed down to stop Travis from going into the light and giving in, and pretty much said, your dad won't want this for you. You need to come with me. And Travis eventually went with them. They eventually killed Alistair. Crump went about their business. Some of the ghosts went about their life in the aftermath, but some of them stayed at the house, and they all end up just forming back at the house. They all meaning the psychic, Father Kent, Bruce Davis, which is Danny DeVito's character. Of course, Gabbie and Ben looked like they was eventually going to get together. That was pretty much the end of the movie. So it was a decent film to watch, especially around in a spirit of Halloween. All Halloween movies don't necessarily have to be gory and killing and stuff like that. It could just be a fun-spirited ghost movie. So it was decent. Out of my 4-star rating system, I give it a 3 out of 4 stars. It was a decent movie to watch. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.